Hi there. I am snowed in today. We got a record 7 inches of snow yesterday, so I called in some vacation time for yesterday and today, and I won't know about tomorrow yet until I get out this afternoon and check on the hollow and in my hill, see if anyone's done anything to that or not. But anyhow, it's a pretty day. A little cold, maybe right at 20 degrees right now. It was a big 11 when I woke up this morning. And I'm going to try to keep myself out of a little bit of trouble and save myself from some of the boredom inside the house. So I'm really not going to do a whole lot. I got a few little holiday gifts this year that I want to just kind of play with. One of them's a little a tappy or a tap. Anyhow, I'll show it to you when I drag it out of my backpack. Little alcohol stove. I want to experiment with a dehydrated meal, which is what I'm out here to do right now, and just kind of play around back here. Maybe go back and get my hammock, set it up so I have a dry place to sit, and clear out a spot for after some of the dehydrated meal rehydrates. Probably going to cook it on a real fire instead of the alcohol stove. It'll get done a little bit quicker. But anyhow, just kind of playing, taking advantage of a pretty day and otherwise just being stuck at the house. So. Okay, yeah. So this is one of the little things I wanted to show you I got for holiday gift. It's a little titanium alcohol stove. I think it's pretty neat. And ATAP. I don't know if you can see that or not, but that's it. Just a little alcohol stove. You can see I've played with it a little bit. Just heated up some water and stuff. Made a couple teas one day. But I like the little patina. I kind of think that's kind of neat. That little metallic bluish color. But anyhow, I'm just going to use that today to heat up some water to get the vegetables for my dehydrated meal started. I'll show you how I do that too once I get going. And one other little, I can't remember where I put it. It's a new pack too. My wife got for me this year. I think it's going to make a pretty good little day pack. I just wore out that Outdoor Products one that I've been carrying around, that gray one. I wanted to show you this too. I'm pretty pleased with it, even though it's got a few little issues. But remember about a year ago, my dad gave me a old Western skinning knife that he had found while out at Fort Campbell. This year for gifts, I made some leather stuff, and while I was in a leather crafting mode, I decided to make myself a sheath for this knife. So this is that sheath that I made. I'm really quite pleased with my craftsmanship on this one. I think I did pretty well. It's got some flaws that are probably more known to me than anything else, but one thing I should have considered was to do a fold-over type of sheath like this on a single piece of leather. I should have probably done it with a straight spine knife instead of a curved one. and I probably could have made it just a little bit wider. It's a little tight going in the sheath, and it is, I don't know if you can see this well or not, but I'll try. It's cutting a little groove off of this point right here inside the sheath, but that I think I did really good with it, at least for my skill set at the moment. I'm very pleased with how it came out. And again, there's that Western knife that my dad had given me, that he had found. I've been cleaning up on it. I don't think I'm going to get some of this pitting out, but I have been working on it. And anyhow, just wanted to show you that. And I got my little Bushcraft Essentials twig stove out too. And then this little guy here, if I put the pot stands sideways in it, it makes a good platform for the little alcohol burner I found. And just slide these in here. I don't know if that's what its intent was, but works good. So, and then this little guy will fit perfectly inside that. So that's how I'm going to do that. And see here, I've only plated this thing inside the house, so I don't know exactly how much alcohol I'm going to need to do this. It boiled water pretty quickly indoors using titanium cup too. So I'm going to use my Pathfinder canteen cup today though. So that's a little bit heavier stainless steel. But at the same time, it has a lid, which was my thought process for today. And I'm not going to need a lot of water, about a cup. That'll be good. I don't know exactly how much alcohol to try to use yet. I'm still trying to figure this part of it out. It's got some little measurement marks on the inside, so I'm going to at least put 1 ounce in there. Okay, 1.5 ounces. And we'll see. Stuff was fairly inexpensive anyhow. I think I got a quart of it for $7 at Walmart, so I'm not too worried about all the waste if I do. Can't get deep enough down in there. Where's my flat spot? There it goes. No. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Okay, so while that's starting to come to a bloom, I'm going to explain my meal. If you remember my very first Canteen Cup Tuesday, I did a ground bison and barley, and I'm really just kind of redoing that. But I've got a serving of barley, probably a hefty serving, and a beef bouillon cube for that. I've got some dehydrated onions, carrots, and mushrooms, and a beef bouillon cube for that. And that's what we're going to do right this very moment. Is rehydrate these, and then I've got a quarter pound of ground beef, and we've done enough with the ground beef. I don't need to explain that anymore, really. It's just a very lean ground beef mixed with some breadcrumbs, fried up, and then dehydrated. Something I find that works really good for rehydrating the vegetables is one of these little thermos cups. I know Ozark Trail makes one because I bought my wife one of those, and then this one's a thermos brand, double wall insulated. But what I'll do is get some water boiling and put the dried vegetables in here and let them rehydrate a couple hours, and then I can go about my business, and it's going to rehydrate themselves on its own. And I should have put the oh wow, it put itself out. Should have put the beef cube in there so the mushrooms and stuff can absorb the beef flavors. Wasn't expecting that. It's going. Sounds like it's going again. There it goes. Alright, hopefully it stays going this time. And we'll get back with you after the water comes to a boil. I don't have a watch anymore. Yeah, I think this thing's riding too close and it's acting like a snuffer, so let me figure this one out a little bit different. It's the first time I've tried to use the canteen cup. Okay. I got it going again this time, and what I did not pay attention to when I first started was it comes with its own little pot stand, and I forgot to use it. So I think we should be okay now. Also, I took, because I was going to use these as a pot stand until I just realized these were sitting underneath the barley. So I think I'm going to be okay now, finally. Set that there so it quits acting like its own snuffer. And I also discovered about the Bushcraft Essential stove here that I can raise the stick pan up to where I had these sitting initially and put it there too. So I've got my little mistake corrected and we're back in business. And so you don't have to sit here and watch water boil. I'm going to turn the camera off. We'll see how long it takes though. It is 9:50. There we go. 9:56. And I got a good rolling boil. Okay, so I'm going to take that little guy, set him right there. Still has some fuel left in there, but okay, so what I've got here is last night or yesterday I dehydrated a full pound of the little white mushrooms you get in the store, and a full onion, and I already had some dehydrated carrots. This is not a full onion and a full pound of mushrooms, but it is just a portion of them. I divided the onion up into 4, so it's about a quarter onion and about an eighth on the amount of mushrooms. So I've got all that. That's sitting pretty low in there, about yay deep. And I'm going to take my beefy water and just cover that. Okay. Oh, that did not fully snuff it. We will let that rehydrate. I'm going to go for about 3 hours. I can tell you the last time I did an experiment like this was I was out in Bake South Fork with Papa in the woods, and I brought that beef stew of mine. I took all the vegetables from the beef stew and when we finished our breakfast, I heated up some water, put it inside this little thermos, and while we were out doing our exploring and stuff, came back after a good day, 8-10 hour day, came back, and then when it was time for dinner, everything was overly rehydrated and still kind of warm too, so it worked out pretty good using this little thermos. Good idea if you're not worried so much about how much weight you got. But you can easily do that. for some stuff if you dehydrated it and need it for breakfast in the morning or whatever. You can just heat that up, let it sit overnight, and then you got your rehydrated vegetables for the morning. And then, like I was just saying, you can do the same thing in the morning and have it ready for dinner. So I kind of like that little experiment. Yeah, finally it went out. So there's not really a whole lot to do here. I'm going to go ahead and probably try to build a fire and just maybe drag out my hammock and stuff. So we'll come back in a couple hours for lunch, and we'll see how all this is done. Alright, I think once I finish my tea here, we'll start heating up. I'm going to use the canteen cup just to heat up a little bit more water to get a head start in rehydrating our ground beef. And then, like I said, I'm going to give that a head start, maybe 15-20 minutes. And then we'll just incorporate all that into small pot to start the barley and just assemble the whole meal. And then that'll be my lunch. The rim's a little hot. Okay. This too was a holiday gift, this little jacket. It's a lightweight, and I wish I could tell you the name of it. I forget the name of it already, but it was a souvenir jacket from Land Between the Lakes. And was eyeballing it over the spring. They didn't have any in my size at the time. And then when some of the Michigan family came down earlier not last year now, in the fall, they picked it up for me as a holiday gift. I'm really liking it. It's very lightweight. It's pretty warm, and then when the sun hits down on it, it's even warmer. You can just kind of feel it heating yourself up with it. So I'm gonna like this little jacket too, I think. I'm not sure what that noise in the background is, but all right. So I've got my little quarter pound of ground beef that I'm gonna just set here for a second in the canteen cup. And I'm just going to put enough water to cover. Yeah, like right there should be far more than plenty. We will let that just kind of rehydrate. What I'm going to do, I had a couple choices. I thought maybe I could do the whole thing in the canteen cup, and I could. I think it'll all fit. But initially I had planned on doing it in a cook pot, so that's where I'm going to leave it. I've got a little titanium cook pot here, which I'm going to put a cup of water in. It's just short of a cup because I'm going to add the hamburger to it also. So I'm going to let that sit there. And if I would have been smart, I would have brought some gloves. So this is quick barley. It only is going to take 10 minutes once the water comes to a boil. So I'm going to go ahead and put the beef cube in there. And at least let the water heat up a little bit before I add the barley to it. The ground beef here is about, I don't know how well you can see that, but it is about, I think as rehydrated as it's going to get. It has taken in most of the water. Okay, so it is starting to at least steam, so that's good. I'm going to go ahead and add the barley wherever I put it. There it is. And add the barley. I'm going to incorporate the ground beef. I think that is about as much of that as I'm going to get. And I don't know the best way to show you this. I haven't even looked at it myself, but I know I've done it from another experiment. So I'm going to try to get in here close to it, and hopefully you can see it. So there's all that dehydrated stuff. I am going to drain some of this. I'm going to give some of the water to it, but then I'm going to drain most of it off. Okay. But there's our carrots and mushrooms and onions. They rehydrated very well. Yeah. Mushrooms probably could have went a little bit longer. Yeah, that's, I think, everybody. Look at that, it's still steaming on the inside here too, see? That works out pretty good. Now we'll cook that till the barley is done. Yep, almost. Not exactly a pot holder, but it will work. Just going to set that right there. Let it set up for a second. That is looking really, really good. Let me see if I can do this for you guys. It is exceptionally bright out here, so I can't tell you if I'm... Woo! Almost lost it. I can't see a thing, but I am hoping that you can. See, there's onion, beef, carrot, some mushroom pieces. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good. That's really good. That's going to be a stick to your ribs sort of meal. It's a little hot. The beef rehydrated good. I think the onion did. Yeah, the onion did. The only thing that could have went a little bit longer, it looks like, was the stems from the mushroom. But even then, they're not bad. They're just a little chewy. They're not, not firm, hard, or crunchy, or nothing like that. Just, I think it's pretty good. If I would have got a little earlier start, or if I would have made this for a dinner instead of a lunch, I think the mushrooms would have set up a little bit better. But like I said, it's not bad. Not at all. I don't use any other seasoning other than just what you see here. I opted out of any additional salt because we've got 2 bouillon cubes, so there's plenty of sodium, I think. My wife would probably differ a little bit, but I think it's a good little meal. I'm anxious to try it out on a trail somewhere. Got some stuff I'd really like to do. There's probably this winter, there's some Shawnee National Forest stuff that we want to go see. And maybe this spring, early summer, I can get back out to Big South Fork. There's definitely a lot I want to see there. Maybe a couple overnighters off trail. I'd like to do some more exploring. We'll see how things go. But it's a light, packable meal. Very easy enough to do if you have a dehydrator. Just do a lot of it overnight while you sleep. Pack it. Take it off the dehydrator in the morning. Let it do all its work for you. And yeah, I think it'll work out pretty good. So if you haven't seen the original Canteen Cup Tuesday where I did it with the ground bison and stuff, go check that one out. It's a few years old now. It's probably one of my first videos that made it back up on the second upload after everything got deleted for whatever reason. And I want to thank you for hanging out with me on a snowy day. Well, post-snowy day. And guess we'll see you next time.